Hi friends, I'm Parvez from geekscoders.com and this is our first video in Django Web Development. So in this video we're going to have a simple introduction to Django and also we're going to learn how you can install Django, and at the end we are going to just create our first project in Django. So now in this course we're going to just learn Django by using documentation, Django documentation. As you know, there's a good documentation for Django. So now first of all, what's Django? Now Django is a Python web framework that is used for web development, and the Django framework uses a set of design principles that produces one of the most productive web development process compared to many other web frameworks. Also Django provides a set of tightful components. Now there are different web frameworks in Python that you can use for web development, but the most popular are Django and also Flask. So Flask is a micro web framework and it's mostly used for small project. Now Django is a complete web framework and it's mostly used for web development. Now for example, especially you can use Django in the backend section. You can easily integrate Django with React.js or Vue.js. Now this is the documentation of Django I have started. So this is the djangoproject.com, and you can see they have telling that why you choose Django, because with Django you can take web applications from concept to launch in a matter of hours. Django takes care of much of hassle of web development, so you can focus on writing your app without needing to reinvent the wheel. It's free and open source. So you can see that Django is fast, the Django is fully loaded, and Django is secure. And also you can see that site using Django. There are different sites that they are using Django, especially in the backend section. So if you see, these are the sites. For example, the big site is Instagram, and these are using Django from Django Web Framework. Now let's create our first project in Django. Now, as I've already said, that we are going to go through the documentation and we are going to use the latest version of Django, that's 3.1. At the recording of this video we have Django 3.1 and this is the latest version. Now first we need to create our we need to install Django. So I've already created a virtual environment in the PyCharm IDE, so you can see, and if you don't know, you can just click on the new project, and from here you can just choose virtual environment. Now so after this, now we can just say pip install Django and hit enter. Now we are waiting for the installation of the Django. Alright guys, now the Django is installed and you can see that it's installing, and I'm waiting for the installation. Alright guys, now the installation completed, and now if I check my lib site packages, and you can see that now I have Django package in here in the site packages. Now we have created our Django, we have installed our Django. Now it's time to create our first project in Django. Now you can use Django admin for creating of the project. So if you see the documentation of so you can see that you can use Django admin, start project, and after that you need to give the project name. So now let's just do this, and we are going to just say Django admin start project, and you can give your project name. For example, I'm going to learn you using the Django documentation. So for example, if you see, we have my site, so this is the name of my project, and I'm going to just say Django admin start project, and after that you need to give the name of your project. In my case, I'm giving my site. Now after that, hit enter. Now the Django project is created, and now if we check, so now let me just Okay, now you can see that we have a new folder in here that is called my site, as we have created my site project. And you can see that we have a bunch of files. For right now, we are not going to talk about these files. So you can see we have my site, and we have init.py, sg.py, settings.py, urls.py, wsgi.py, and at the end manage.py. So this manage.py is one of the important files that we are going to talk about this. Okay, now before talking about these files, let's run our development server. So the best thing about Django is that there is a development server that you can check your web application. Now we can use manage.py. So as I've already said, it is one of the important files that it's mostly used for command line utility. So in here, the first thing is that you need to change the directory to your project. So we are going to just say cd my site, because manage.py is located in the my site directory. Now after this, now we need to run our project, run our development server. So we can use Python, in here Python, and after that we are going to use manage.py. So you can see that these are the files that is located for in here. So you can see this is a Django command line utility for administrative tasks. For example, if you want to create an app, you can use, for example, manage.py. Or if you want to run your development server, then you need to use manage.py. Or for example, if you want to migrate your database, you need to use manage.py. So in here we are going to just say Python. So let me just bring it in here. So we can say Python manage.py, and after that we are going to use run server. So run server. After that, hit enter. Now it will run our development server for the Django. Now you can see, so right now we have 18 unapplied migrations, but we will talk about this. So for right now, if you see, we are using Django version 3.1.3, and if you see that the development server is in this port, so in the local host, now we need to just open this. Now we can just go to the local host port 80, and now we have the install worked successfully. Congratulations. And this is the latest version of Django 3.1. Now you're done with the creating of the first project on the Django. Now the first thing is, now let me just complete my setup, and I need to just migrate my project, because if you see in here, we have db.sqlite 3. It's because by default Django uses SQLite 3 database. We will learn that how you can use Django with MySQL or Postgres in the further videos. But for right now, for the development purpose, we are going to use SQLite 3. And you can see that it is db.sqlite 3, and it's created by default. Now the first thing is that we need to just migrate this. So we can just, and here, so this is my development server, and I have created a new terminal, and in here I want to just say Python manage.py migrate. Oh, sorry, I need to change directory to my site, and Python manage.py, and we want to migrate. Now you can see that these are our migrations. So now let's talk about these files, and now let's open our documentation, our Django documentation. Okay, now you can see that these are files. So the first one is our outer my site. So it's the root directory, and it's a container for your project. Now the name doesn't matter, there is no problem. As I've already said, you can give it my site, you can give it my project, whatever you want. You can just give the name of your project. Now if you see in here, so this is our my site, this is our root directory, and this is our project. Now after that we have init.py. So you can see that it is an empty file, and you can see that init.py, it is an empty file that tells Python that this directory should be considered a Python package. Now this init.py is not related to Django stuff, it's just related to Python. And after that we have this asg.py, and so it's, you can see it's it exposes the asg callable module level variable. Now if you see the documentation, you can see that it is an entry point for ASCII compatible web servers to serve your project. Now this is related to the web servers, ASGI, and after that we have settings.py. So it's also one of the important files in Django project, and we will work on the settings.py a lot more. So if you see now settings or configuration for this Django project, Django setting will tell you all about how settings works. Now there are different sections in here. Now we are not going to talk more about this, because when we create practical examples we will know about these, that what are these. So you can see that first in here we have installed apps. Now these are the apps. By default we have admin, auth, session, static files, and these are the middlewares for the Django. We have security middleware, session middleware, and different middlewares. And this is our root URL conf. This is the template section, and here where it's the place that we are going to add our templates. So for example, we are going to create our HTML templates, then we need to just add those templates in here, especially in the there's section. And if you come down, so this is the important point, the database section. As I've already said, you can see in here we have db.sqlite3, and by default you can see that the engine is django.db.backends.sqlite3. So by default Django uses SQLite3, and we will talk about more databases in the further videos, but it's good to first use SQLite3 because it is a lightweight database and it's mostly used for development stuffs. And so we have urls.py, and we will talk more about this. It's used for URL routing, and for example we have just admin. We will talk about this admin more. And if you see the Django documentation, it is the URL declarations for this Django project. And also we have wsgi.py, and it is an entry point for WSGI compatible web servers to serve your project. So like this you can create your first project in Django. We will talk more about this Django in the further videos. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and also share the video.